Hi ladies. For those of you that have been following along with my journey, I know this is most certainly not what you wanted to see in my next update. For those of you that are just stumbling upon my channel, I'm kind of sorry this is the first video you have to see of mine. To give you a quick recap of what my story is and what my channel is about. The husband and I have been TTCing for a little over a year and a half after a diagnosis of PCOS, a textbook diagnosis. We pursued treatment of just metformin. We've done oral medications and finally hybrid cycles with oral medications and injectables. January of 2018, we conceived our first child, and unfortunately that pregnancy ended because of a trisomy 16 mutation. We tried a few more cycles, had a break month, conceived pseudo-naturally on our break month. If you've cycled on medications a few months in a row, sometimes your natural cycle just kicks in for a month or two before it peters off again. Anyway, so we were really excited about that. Graduated from our fertility clinic, had our 8-week appointment at our OB's office, and the heart rate was great. If you want more details about this, you can go check out my other videos. I have playlists to make it easy for you. Sorry if I'm rather flat in this. Obviously if I think about it too much, then I'm gonna cry and then I can't get an update out. So I know there's a few hundred of you that care about my journey, so I thought it only fair to keep you updated. I filmed over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because I was trying to keep myself busy because I was really nervous and excited for this appointment, because it was when we were going to be able to hear the heartbeat, and it was also when I was going to kind of let myself start buying things and kind of promise myself that I'd enjoy the pregnancy after this appointment, you know, kind of as the close of the first trimester. Over the weekend, you know, garden, did a whole bunch of stuff.
Hello ladies, this morning we are up bright and early, yes, and we are here to do what?
A 5K.
A 5K!
But walking.
But yeah, like, you know me. So it's way later. Alyssa and I finished our 5K, which is delightful, but it's absolutely gorgeous right now outside, so I decided to get some of the yard work done. I'm having to take breaks like every 2 seconds, but I have already accomplished clearing all of that, and now I need to clear all of this.
I had my phone out to record the audio from the appointment because I thought we were going to be able to hear the heartbeat, and I'll play it for you right after this, but you can tell that she spends quite a few minutes searching with just the hand Doppler.
Listen to baby's heartbeat. Was retroflexed or like tilted back first visit. I'm not going to get an ultrasound. I can faintly hear it, but I'm wondering if your uterus is tilts back instead of forward, which makes it harder to get to early in pregnancy. Let me see if that sound room's open.
After that, she says, well, you might have been able to hear it. She asked me if I had a tilted uterus, and I said no. I know I've been specifically told that I don't, and that I don't have a septum or anything like that. I know that's all been checked, and she said she was gonna get us in for an ultrasound, but somebody else had just gone in for their anatomy scan, which is a very long ultrasound. So we were waiting in the room, and they stop that lady's ultrasound essentially. And I walk in, and the monitors are all off, and she's like, I can't show you the monitor, and I can't or print any pictures because technically she's logged in like as somebody else, like she's treating somebody else, which retrospect, who knows if that was true. So she gets out the transducer and starts to scan, and she's pressing really hard. Then she says she's gonna step out of the room. And I closed my eyes for like 3 seconds because I just want it to be a nightmare. But it's not. So I open my eyes and I grab the husband's hand because thank goodness he's there. And they shuffle us back into just examination room. And the doctor comes in and obviously tells us that this pregnancy's over, and that the baby stopped growing around 10 weeks. I knew. And not to feed into anyone's paranoia or anything, but like my symptoms had just cut off so sharply and abruptly, and you know, all the sites are like, as long as there's not cramping, as long as there's not bleeding or really bad headaches, like it doesn't mean anything, it's normal. I just had a really bad feeling about it all. She goes through our options and we can just wait to see what happens, but she didn't recommend that because this is my second miscarriage, so it can be weeks or months before your body actually figures out what's going on. She said I could do oral medications if I wanted, go home, choose when I wanted to do it, like that's a pro. She said it works about 90% of the time, otherwise you have to come back in and get a D&C anyway, and that you have to be okay, you know, with lots of blood, and they give you pain medications because the cramps are bad and everything. But if you've watched my other miscarriage video, which don't, it's really bad. I was so nervous to film that. Don't watch that. Anyway, we had a D&C with genetic testing with our last pregnancy, and that's what I wanted to do again. Luckily, this is way less agonizing this time because the heartbeat was just gone instead of just declining. Last time it took, I think, almost 2.5 weeks from when we got the news that there was something bad happening to when I actually got my surgery. And now this is Tuesday, and my surgery is scheduled for first thing Wednesday morning. So that's just being taken care of in a much more expedited manner. So gotta count your blessings where you can find them. So the third option was a D&C, and she offered us genetic testing, which I'm all for, and I insisted on it with her first miscarriage, even though that was with my RE. She was like, you know, it's totally up to you because it's just your first one and it's probably a fluke. And I was like, no, you can't go back in time and get testing. You know, if we're on our second or third miscarriage, like you can't get the answers you need if you wait. So I knew even though insurance was going to bump it back as unnecessary, it was worth it to me. And now at least I listened to my gut then. Now it's relevant. We'll get the testing again and see what happened, and then that'll take a week or so to get in, and I'll share that with you ladies when it comes in. Obviously yesterday was really hard. I had to call my parents, and as I'm filming this I haven't told my friends, but they are oh so crafty, and I think a few are already on to something that something's wrong, which shows how much they care. So I think today or tomorrow I'll share with them. It's really hard to take that joy from people. Today the husband's home, he's working from home, just so I'm not alone. Like I said, I'm scheduled for surgery first thing tomorrow morning, so hopefully, again, if you watched my other update, don't do that. We had a really bad experience at the surgery center last time with being delayed, and it was just hours upon hours before we got in, and by then I was really dehydrated, and it was just a whole mess. So I'm glad this is in the morning. Shouldn't be any delays or anything, and it's also very quick. Like I said, the quicker I get the D&C done, the quicker I get the genetic testing, then the quicker I feel not pregnant. That's kind of the worst part. Looking in the mirror is so hard because I still look different. It only takes a few weeks after you get the D&C for it to go back to normal. So As far as what we're gonna do after this, I'm not sure. When we got our diagnosis back in February of 2017, we said we were gonna give ourselves till the end of 2018 with fertility treatments and treatment in general before we kind of had a serious, like, is it worth it? Is having biological children worth the delay? I don't think either of us anticipated 2 pregnancies in that time frame, which eat up a lot of time, months and months, right, of that time with the pregnancy and then the recovery. So we'll have to reassess when emotions are a little lower. And again, I'll let you ladies know when we've made a plan about that. If we do go forward with fertility treatments, I'm not sure I want to do any more hybrid cycles. I kind of want to see if we can get our insurance to just pay for IVF and just put my body through that. I don't know yet though. Regardless, we're gonna keep our vacations planned for the end of the month. I think that'll be a good recovery time. Certainly last time we had a Hawaii vacation booked right after. I am getting an A+ in well-timed vacations. Anyway, I am really sorry to have to tell you guys this news and for the depressing nature of this video. Thank you all for all of your support, both to friends and family and my lovely subscribers. It means a lot. That's all I have for my update today, ladies. Keep on fighting.